some people that had to be left off, which I think is crazy. Wyatt Johnston, crazy that they left him off the roster. I think that he is one of the young rising stars, and he's done really, really well this season, last season, the season before. I understand why they had to leave him off, though.
All right, welcome back to the Peanut Gallery podcast. Olympic rosters are out. Confidence levels are through the roof. A young scorer just got upgraded, targeted. The Jets are learning the dangers of being good too early. The Winter Classic is heading to Miami, of all places. Not sure why. And somewhere in there, we're going to slide in college football playoffs because we're glutting for punishment. Episode 14 is next. Let's get into it. Hello, Mackenzie.
Hello.
What you doing? You seem very busy.
Just keeping my hands distracted while I was waiting for you to get through the intro. The ticket's still on your sleeve.
It is. Mini Perlingen. You know who that is, but hopefully somebody who's watching is going to know who that is. Hey, Kenskins.
Yeah.
So we got the Olympics NHL rosters are out.
Yep.
And I was looking through it, and it seems pretty stacked.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
But one person is missing.
Who's that one person?
Luke
From
Hughes.
which team?
Luke Hughes.
Poor Lukey.
Because both of his brothers are playing, Jack and Quinn. They're on the roster.
Maybe in 2030. Maybe in 2030.
Yeah.
Listen, I mean, I can't say he's too young because there are people on the roster that are younger than him. But as far as like U.S. defensemen go, there are certainly picks that were a better option than Luke. And you can't just put someone on a team because their brothers are on the team. I don't disagree with the opinion to leave him off this year just because like he's not at his strongest right now. Do I think he's plenty good enough to make an Olympic roster? For sure. Like he's a great player, but do I think that there are more US defensemen that made the roster over him? I do. So I'm not mad about the decision. 2030 will be his year. But it's okay.
All right.
He was not the one I had in mind when I said that there were snubs.
Well, actually, that was my next question. So, aside from Luke Hughes, are there any notable snubs or surprises in the selection?
Yes,
Okay.
there are. Okay, we'll start with Team USA. Biggest shocker out of all of them. No Jason Robertson on Team USA. That is a detrimental mistake. I don't know why. Like, there's actually no logical reason for them to have left him off the roster. He has been the top scoring NHL player, American-born NHL player since the 2022-2023 season, according to the Dallas Stars broadcasters today. That's what they said. So why in the world was he left off the roster? There's tons of speculation. Just, you know, the fact that he's Asian, they think that that's why he was left off. The fact that he's small, yeah,
really?
the fact that he's small, not super feisty, they think that that could have been the reason.
Well,
but
that's a better excuse than him being Asian.
But it's not, because who cares about his size when he's scoring goals, you know? Like, you have your fighters. You have Matthew and Brady on the team. That's period, end of discussion. You have your fighters. So why not lean towards goal scoring? The biggest difference between Team Canada and Team USA is Team Canada has depth. They have the goal scorers so they are able to add other kinds of players onto their team because they have goal scorers. Team USA is severely lacking like the 100% I'm going to score a goal scores. And Jason Robertson's one of those players. I'm shocked that he's not on the roster. Somebody I'm shocked to see, but not shocked to see at the same time, is JT Miller. He hasn't had the strongest season. He's currently injured, and I think there were tons of other people who could have made the team over him. Arguably could say the same thing about Vincent Trocheck, just with the Rangers this year. But I mean, Vincent Trocheck is more of a understandable than JT Miller is. I mean, both of them are Olympic level players, but I just think that there were options like that may or may not have been better than those people. Cole Caulfield is a great example. Why isn't he here? Why? Is it because he's small? Like you have no, Connor Garland isn't on this either. So we were missing Connor Garland. I mean, Connor Garland wasn't going to make the U.S. Olympic roster either, but I was going to say, if you have Connor Garland on here, why can't you have Cole Caulfield? Because Connor Garland's really small too. He played for the Worlds this last year
Right.
in June. Moral of the story, if the forward depth is not there for Team USA, the lack of Jason Robertson and Cole Caulfield specifically shocks me. And the fact that they picked specifically JT Miller and Vincent Trocek, that's a problem. The rest of the forwards, like I could see being among the same caliber as, I mean, not Jason Robertson. Jason Robertson should 100% be on this roster. There is absolutely no reason for them to have left him off. So defensively, they're doing fine. I think that they chose defense really well. I'm glad that they included Jake Sanderson. He got his chance to play back in the Four Nations when Quinn Hughes was hurt, and he did really, really well. Seth Jones, I'm kind of shocked to see. I'm not a fan of Seth Jones, and he's not like in my head like an Olympic player that I would go to first. But defensively, I think it's fine. Goalies, we all saw these three coming for Team USA.
But
But
here,
my
so
qualm,
wait. So for goalies, are you surprised that there are no goalies from the Avalanche in there?
well, that's Team Canada's problem, and I'll get to that in a second.
Oh, okay.
Talking about Team USA. Switching gears, let's go to Team Canada. Team Canada, that's a rough roster because um wait, let me pull the roster up. They have a problem. It's a good problem to have, but they have a problem where they have so many people who are able to make the roster, they have to make really, really like close decisions. So Nathan McKinnon, Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, Mitch Marner, Cale Makar, all people who are guaranteed to make the roster. You have no if buts or coconuts, they're all making the roster. Um, some people that had to be left off, which I think is crazy. Wyatt Johnston, crazy that they left him off the roster. I think that he is one of the young rising stars and he's done really, really well this season, last season, the season before. I understand why they had to leave him off though. Seth Jarvis is another really good one. I'm wearing my Seth Jarvis jersey out of solidarity today because I really thought he was going to make it. But the problem with Team Canada is they have so many guaranteed goal scorers that they needed more depth. So
Yeah.
they added an Anthony Cirelli to the list, who is not a person you would automatically think, oh, is going to score much goals, but he's a two-way forward, was a Selke nominee, finalist, like that kind of stuff. So they added him for that reason. Would I have chosen Seth Jarvis or Wyatt Johnston over that? Yes, but that's my opinion because I think that the defense should focus on being defensive and that you should have stacked goal scorers on your forward roster. But I understand why they did that. So with Team Canada, their forward situation, I think that there were a lot of people who got left off, specifically Wyatt Johnston, Seth Jarvis, like the younger guys. Connor Bedard, whoa, that was crazy. That that was crazy. He deserves a spot on this team, regardless. My issues with the goaltending. Why in the world did we leave off Mackenzie Blackwood, Scott Wedgwood, one or the other, or both? Why? When you have a team that has lost 3 games, the most recent loss in regulation was today, and I don't even think people care because they're more focused on the captain. But 3 losses in regulation, a high save percentage, a low goals allowed average. Why in the world would you leave both of them off, let alone like, why not bring just one of them? Jordan Binnington, I completely understand that he's there for clutch moments. He won the game versus Team USA last year in the Four Nations. He works well under pressure, but like statistically, not the best option. Resume wise, the best option, not statistically. Darcy Kemper, Logan Thompson, all three great goalies, but you need to look at now. And right now, the Colorado Avalanche, both of their goalies doing really, really well. So I'm shocked to not have seen either of them on there. I think that the goaltenders at Team USA or Team Canada are good, but I think that one of the Avalanche goalies definitely should have been included considering the season that they're having.
So what about the fact that there's only one Colorado Avalanche on Team USA's roster?
Brock Nelson?
And yes, and Rangers have like multiple people on
Well, you
there.
have to look at, well, first of all, you have to look at which team like has, you know, I don't off the top of my head can't think of like other American Colorado Avalanche players, but I can't like think of off the top of my head which ones I would choose over anybody else on the roster. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, yeah, sure, there's only one American Colorado Avalanche player, but they have a ton of foreigners, tons of Canadians, tons of Swiss, or not Swiss, Swedes. So whereas New York Rangers have a ton of Americans.
I
So
got you.
and they left off like Adam Fox and stuff, who's a defenseman for Team USA. So yeah, that's hard to look at because some teams have more Americans than others. So now, finally, or no, not finally, but another situation that I have with the team or team Olympic rosters, Sweden. Sweden. Sweden did the same thing last year. It was called Nylander Gate because William Nylander, he was born in Canada because his dad was playing over here, I think, but he's Swedish. I think, let me look it up. Yes, he was born in Calgary because his dad was playing professional hockey over here, but he is Swedish, fully Swedish. But he made the Swedish roster for the Four Nations, and everybody lost their minds because they were like, somebody deserves his spot because he's not a true Swede or whatever. I'm like, guys, his dad was playing professional hockey over here. He's a Swede, whatever. This time, William Nylander did make the roster. He made the roster. It's fine. Team Sweden put in Pontus Holmberg over players like William Eklund, Marcus Johansson, those two off the top of my head, easily deserve to go in over him. Absolutely insane pick. Pontus Holmberg from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Unreal,
Pontus Holmberg.
unreal pick. I don't know what their reasoning was. I don't know where it came from. I don't know. But that was an insane choice to me. I have no idea why they did that. Um I don't. I have no explanation. Marcus Johansson's been crazy this year. He plays for the Minnesota Wild. He's been really, really good. Um, William Eklund has been really good this year. He would add to the young depth. Like he was left off the Four Nations roster. That's why everybody was so upset about William Nylander. Like I don't know who is the GM. I mean, I know the GMs of these teams, but I don't know what they're thinking. But especially Team Sweden, because what is Pontus Holmberg doing here? Like his stats don't even live it up to it. Why is he here? Or
Maybe because
Mikael
his name is
Granlund.
Pontus.
Huh?
Maybe because his name is Pontus.
What does that have to do with anything?
I mean, he's noticeable. Pontus. It screams Viking. Okay, keep going.
Okay.
The Swedes are Vikings.
Yeah, okay. I know that, but your point still doesn't land.
Okay.
Anyway, the only team I don't have any like situations with, Finland, great, whatever. Their goalies may not be the strongest in the league, but they're serving face all the time, and I think they're gonna have a ton of fun. The Finns always have fun, so I'm really hoping that they do well. If Team USA and Team Canada aren't gonna respect people who deserve to be on the team, I'm not going to cheer for them. I'm cheering for Team Switzerland. Go Team Switzerland. I hope they have a great time. Yeah. Anyway, those are my opinions on the Olympic rosters. I think that for the first time in years, they're allowed to participate in the Winter Olympics, and they choose to have just whatever they've done with the rosters. I don't know, but I mean, I see other cases can be made. There is no case that can be made for why Jason Robertson was left off. That's insane to me. That's unreal to me. I have no idea why they did that.
That
That
is crazy.
that's unreal.
Hopefully, someone's gonna give us an answer for that.
Someone like explain themselves because I want to hear an explanation that clears your name because right now you have racism allegations, not by me, but Twitter's going crazy with it, and that's what my friend texted me today. Because I asked, I was like, "Why do you think he's off the team?" And she was like, "Is it crazy if I say because he's Asian?" And I was like,
I don't think so.
"I don't think so either
No.
because, well, I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you. I didn't realize that was such a big deal. So like I couldn't tell you, but."
So, with all that being said, who do you think is going to prevail at the end of the Olympics in hockey?
Well, I'll say this. I feel bad for the Russians. They're not allowed to play because the NHL Russians, I think, would do really well. I think that everybody else should be internally grateful that they're not allowed to play because the Russians would actually sweep every single person in the round robin and then whatever. So if the Russians were allowed to play, the Russians would win, no doubt. Since the Russians aren't allowed to play, Canada's gonna win.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a prediction right here. Canada's
Yeah.
going to win the Stanley
I
Cups of a Stanley Cup of hockey
You mean the
Olympics.
gold medal?
Was it called gold medal? Yes.
I think Team USA would have stood a chance if they had Jason Robertson, but they don't. Um, but Team Canada, what it's going to come down to is their goaltending. Last year during the Four Nations, what it came down to was their goaltending. Uh, it got them in trouble a lot of the times. Um, but at the end of the day, like they were able to make something happen. If they had one of the Colorado Avalanche goalies, I would say Canada all the way. But I think it's going to come down to USA, um, Canada, and Canada's going to win.
Well, that's one game I love to see is who you're saying is Canada because if there's it's half as fun as um, the Four Nations, it's going to be absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I will say, like, if we're basing it off the World Championships in May and June, um, it's hard to base it off of that because half of the rosters aren't there because they're in the playoffs. So you don't get to see like some of these people play, but you do get to see the big names. Like I haven't seen Connor McDavid play in the Worlds recently, obviously because he's been in the playoffs. But the Sidney Crosbys have been there, Nathan McKinnon, like that kind of stuff. So if it's like the Worlds, then Team Switzerland is going to make it farther than people think they are, and I'm really hyped about that. They've been robbed of the gold in Worlds 2 years in a row. So, I mean, we may have a sneaky Swiss win, which I would be very pleased with. But if we're basing it off of Four Nations, which Switzerland was not allowed to participate in, then it's going to be USA Canada because the rosters are very similar
Why was the Switzerland allowed to participate in Four Nations?
because it was Four Nations and Swiss was not one of them because
Do you think that? Yeah, go ahead.
there are hardly any Swiss NHLers.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
why.
they couldn't make a full roster of NHLers. They'd have to have brought like national Swiss people over. And that wasn't allowed in that tournament. But I will say the Swiss goalie, Leonardo, he's really good. So they need to be watching out for him. And actually, they don't need to be watching out for him. I hope he sneaks in there, shows how good he is, and then Switzerland wins. Yay.
Excellent. All right, you have anything else to add about the Olympics and stuff?
Well, Billy Guerin, if you're seeing this, I want an explanation. I want an explanation. Because if you can get Quinn Hughes from the Vancouver Canucks, you could be smart enough to get Jason Robertson on that team. He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild as well.
Oh, okay. Um, speaking of Canadians, um, tell me about Matthew Schaefer. He's seems to be doing really well,
He is.
and this season he's played 42 games. He has 12 goals,
For
16
as a defenseman.
assists.
As
Yep,
a defenseman.
16 assists. Um, so it's he's kicking ass at 18.
Yep. He's doing fantastic. I'm very, very proud of him. He's set a lot of records in the NHL and in the Islanders franchise history. Um, the problem with this is Islanders are on top for the first time in a while. Like they're good for the first time in a while, which teams are supposed to be after they get um a first overall pick, you know? Like this is how a first overall pick is supposed to be affecting a team. Um, but now he has a target on his back. And so in recent games, other team players, like the from the other team, have been targeting him, going after him, trying to hurt him, and all that kind of stuff. And his teammates are sticking up for him. Matthew Barzal got ejected from the game the other day because he stuck up for him. And Matthew Barzal was like, "I don't really care if you go after my rookie. I'm going to come after you." You know what I mean? So, um, but he's doing like he's there. The other rookies in the league are really good. So like the Calder race is tight, but I could totally see him winning the Calder this year.
Well, I think it's natural when you're a young kid and a rookie into a coming into a organization, the others are going to test you, make sure that you're tough
Test
enough to
you.
hang.
Oh yeah, no,
Yes.
no, no. Who are the others? People from other teams?
Yeah, from my team. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I get that, but like I think there's a fine line between like testing him and be like, haha, welcome to the league. Like Connor Bedard was tested when he came into the league, poor guy.
Yeah,
Um, but and seeing if you're tough versus like going after you intent to injure kind of situation, which Tom Wilson tried to do. So,
yeah.
likely place for him to be, of course.
That so. Why do you think the opponents were targeting him? Just because
Because
he's
he's the
good,
best player. He's their best
right?
player. And the Islanders are not the biggest threat, but like they're a threat, Eh, eh, eh.
So how is he at being so young? How is he handling the physical challenges, physical attention?
I mean, obviously, I don't know him personally, so I couldn't tell you, but I mean, he's handling it pretty well, like on being able to shake it off and do stuff. Like yesterday, he took a pretty hard hit. I don't remember who did it. Leafs. It was the Leafs that they were playing. I don't remember who did it. He took a pretty hard hit after he scored the first goal, his first goal of the game, and then he turned around and went and scored the overtime winner. So two disgusting goals. They were nasty. It was nasty. I was like, okay.
That's pretty funny. Well, hopefully he'll keep his head up and show the other people what he's made of.
And I'm sure he will. He's not like the thing with Connor Bedard when he was a rookie, he was very soft. Like he just kind of sat there and took it and then skated to the bench. Never tried to take a penalty, never talked back, never did anything. He was just like a good little player. That's changed. Like recently, he doesn't deal with anything anymore, but he's also a third year now. So it's a little
Well,
different. Hopefully he grows into it. But
he seems pretty scrawny. He's 6'2", Matthew
Matthew
Schaefer.
Schaefer,
Yes, he's
he just
6'2".
got here. Let beef up a
But
little bit.
he needs to beef up for sure to be able to hang in there with the other players.
The entire Islanders roster is pretty scrawny though. There's no certified big dude on there, but Matthew Schaefer's tall. So like,
Yeah, 6'2" is a good height.
mhm.
Okay, so this is where I'm supposed to read the a commercial. So I'm gonna
Oh,
read
we
the
have
commercial.
advertisements now.
Advertisements now.
When do we get sponsored?
We this episode is sponsored by Masupa Real Estate.
Oh boy.
So for all your real estate needs in the Atlanta area, please call Robert Masupa. He is a 22-year veteran of home sales, and he knows his stuff. So, and also he's got connections across the country. So if you're moving somewhere else besides Atlanta, he can refer you to a good real estate agent. Thank you.
Okay.
404-424-4747 for Robert Massoudpour.
Okie dokie.
All right. Let's move on to Winnipeg Jets. My nemesis. This is
Yes, they stole our team.
because they stole our team from Atlanta. So they start out really hot, right? Didn't they? Yeah, they had a hot start, and then they have
What do we consider hot start?
they're experiencing current a slide currently.
Yes.
Do you think that that's because of President's Trophy curse?
Absolutely.
Right,
I
what's
fully
changed? What's going
believe
on?
I fully believe in the President's Trophy curse. I think that if you win it for a year, you are going to slump next year. It's way more prominent. Why do you have a New York Rangers behind you?
Where? I don't.
Your QR code turned into the New York Rangers.
Oh, I don't know why.
Okay.
That's crazy. Okay, go ahead.
Um. Anyway, well, speaking of the New York Rangers, they're a perfect example. They won the President's Trophy in the 23-24 season and then flopped in the 24-25 season and still haven't recovered, seeing as they've been shut out on home ice. Or no, they've been shut out, period, 20% of the season, mainly on home ice. So anyway, but the Winnipeg Jets had a really hot year last year. They had a 15, I think, game winning streak to start out the season. Um, Connor Hellebuck was hot. Everybody was hot. Everybody was doing well. And then they were ousted in the second round of the playoffs.
Hmm.
Yeah, because it was Avs Stars and no, Avs were kicked out in the first. When were they kicked out? No, Oilers Stars. Okay, so yeah, they were kicked out in the second round of the playoffs this year, and then they had a terrible streak of luck. Their captain was injured. Their star goalie was injured for a couple of weeks, and it just they haven't been able to recover. We are halfway through the season officially as of this week, and they are 32nd in the league, just behind the Vancouver Canucks.
Yes.
So yeah, President's Trophy. I think it's exactly what it is.
Do you think it's injuries, goaltending?
No, I think it's simply because they cannot seem to score. Like, I don't know what their problem is, but they cannot seem to get the puck in the net. And the Devils had the same issue, had it for a while. Hopefully, tides are turning. The Hurricanes are currently winning, but that's beside the point. Um, they can't seem to get a win. Like, no way can they seem to get a win. It just seems like bad luck.
Okay. So historically, like you said, the teams are have won the President's Trophy tend to stink at the end of the season.
Flop.
Yeah, flop. Okay. Well, hopefully they'll break the curse and rebound from this. What
No,
about
it's okay. They can stay on there.
what about Connor Hellebuck?
Connor Hellebuyck, he's back, he's healthy and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what his issue is. I really don't. Um, I don't know why he is struggling, and I think it's not very good juju going into Team USA because he's
Yeah.
supposed to be the starter. So I don't know what's going on, but hopefully they figure it out. So
All right.
I genuinely couldn't tell you because he bounced back pretty quickly from his knee injury, won the first couple of games after that, and then it's just kind of been like the Winnipeg Jets haven't really been talked about since then,
Yeah.
because there's nothing going on.
So you don't blame the Winnipeg Jets slide on Connor Hellebuck.
No, I mean, historically, the Winnipeg Jets themselves have had a slump in January, but the slump has hit way before January. So, like, I don't know. Um, I mean, wait, timeout.
But
We need to take a brief intermission for breaking events. Wait, breaking news.
oh, breaking news! Oh, breaking news sounder.
Breaking news.
Yes.
This is not the most positive of breaking news, but I would like to discuss what I would do in this situation since it is happening right now. Okay. If I
Uh-oh,
were the
what's
head
going
coach
on?
of the New Jersey Devils.
Uh-huh.
So the New Jersey Devils are currently playing the Carolina Hurricanes, which is a team that is very difficult for them to play against historically, whatever. Luke Hughes, precious Luke Hughes, sweet precious Luke Hughes, we were just talking about him at the beginning, has scored 2 goals tonight. Unfortunately, the 2 goals have been for the other team. It is very, very unfortunate.
He
Both,
scored twice on his own
both,
goal.
both very, very unfortunate. I need everybody watching this to please look away from Luke Hughes. This is not normal for him. Okay. What I would do in this situation, as much as it pains me to say, I'd bench him for the rest of the game because clearly he's off tonight. Something's going on. Something's going on because there's no way it happened not once but twice. And it's not even the end of the second period yet. So both goals for the Carolina Hurricanes have been scored by Luke. It's not pretty, but what I would do if I were Sheldon Keefe, bench him, sit him, tell him, you know what, it's okay. Everybody has off days. But in order to prevent you from doing something again, you're going to sit your butt on this bench for the rest of the game, and we're going to go with 12 forwards and 5 defensemen for the rest of the game because not once but twice is a lot, and that's not an oopsies
How
anymore.
does that even happen?
It was well, the look on his face after both were just really, really upsetting. I feel so bad for him. And the way Jake Allen looked at him after both of them was I don't even know. Anyway, the first one was an unfortunate, like he went to go move the puck away and ended up going right into the net or whatever, which Jake Allen obviously wasn't expecting that. So he wasn't covering that side of the net. He was like, oh, my teammate has it, no big deal. Like, no, it was a big deal. Anyway, the second one, he started stick handling in front of the goalie and it just went whoop. I was like, oh my God. It's so sad. Anyway, so I don't know what you guys would do if you were in this situation, but if I were in this situation and my player scored not once but twice on my goal, I'd say, listen, everybody has off days, but you're done. You're done for the night. you're sitting. I'm so sorry. Whatever's going on, you need to shake it off though, because you are affecting the integrity of this team right now.
I have a perfect explanation. He's just upset that he was left off the USA
Listen,
Hockey Olympics roster.
if that's the case,
Like he's
then
like,
buddy,
how
you're just
dare
proving our
they?
point right now. So
How
please.
dare they? My two brothers are going, and I can't go with them.
But he didn't behave this way when he was left off the Four Nations roster and both of his brothers were
Yeah,
there.
this is the Olympics, man. Yeah.
Anyway, no. So poor sweet Luke Hughes. Everybody look away from him. Do not bully him. Highly suggest he stays off the internet tonight because the internet's not being very kind to him right now.
Well,
Obviously, I'm
no
a Luke
kidding.
Hughes defender, and so I'm not going to say anything negative about it. Everybody has their bad days. The fact that it happened twice is pretty bad, though. So, like, while I won't say anything negative, I will say that they probably do need to bench him just because right now he's a liability. So it happens. It happens. There's no reason to bully him. He has plenty of good moments as well, but maybe we just need to sit down for a second because
Poor
anyway, that's my
guy.
breaking news that just happened. So
Yes. He
anyway,
just needs to go sit on the bench and have a hot dog and just
well,
reflect
yeah,
on the day.
yeah. He needs to be done. Just take a little chill pill, and then maybe take a nap. Maybe he's malnourished. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. But anyway,
poor Lucky.
I know. I feel really bad for him. I feel really, really bad for him. And I hope that somebody keeps him off his phone
You know,
tonight because I know he's chronically online. So, anyway, going back
maybe
to
you
the
should
Winnipeg
maybe you
Jets.
should write him a note. Write him a note. Say, hey, it's okay, Luke.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not blaming you,
Uh,
Luke. I swear.
yes, exactly. But you
Going
know
back
what?
to the Winnipeg Jets.
Everybody has those moments where they
Yeah,
just, you know.
usually it doesn't happen twice, but
All right. Let's go back to Winnipeg Jets. What else do you have to add?
So I phoned a friend. I contacted my friend Morgan. Hi, Morgan. She's a Winnipeg Jets fan, which is one thing that we disagree on. Um,
Oh,
and
that
I
show's an
asked her,
Avalanche fan.
Avalanche are her favorite team,
Okay.
but Winnipeg Jets, like that was her Vancouver Canucks before I ousted the Vancouver
Oh, I
Canucks.
got you. I got you. Okay.
Um, Sorry. Anyway, so she says that she honestly doesn't know because this is kind of unprecedented, but she thinks that losing Nikolai Ehlers, he got traded to the Hurricanes, was a big hit for them, which is true. Nikolai Ehlers played really, really well for the Jets and was a big leadership person and stuff. She says Hellebuck being hurt didn't help, which we covered. She said also that they were expecting Jonathan Taves to be better than he is. And honestly, I didn't even think about that fact. But yeah, the Jets signed Jonathan Taves in the offseason, who was the captain of the Chicago Blackhawks and then stopped playing for a little while. They were expecting him to be a lot better for that team than he is, and he has not done hardly anything for the Jets this season. So I think that also played a huge role. She's right about that. They had a bunch of injury issues at the beginning of the year, which I don't think is what's affecting them now, but I think affected them early on, like their captain Adam Lowry, Dylan Sandberg, Cole Perfetti, and then since coming back, Cole Perfetti hasn't been super great, but also like I love Cole Perfetti. He's one of my favorite players, but he's not super great, like one of your star players anyway. He had a really good season last season, but so I don't think that has anything to do with it either. I do think that a good point that she made is Jonathan Taves, the Jonathan Taves of it all, because I do think that they were expecting him to be huge, and he has not done hardly anything. As well as losing Nikolai Ehlers, I think that also took a big hit on them as well. So, um, yeah, that's what she thinks, and honestly, I agree with her about the Nikolai Ehlers and Jonathan Taves thing. So,
Yeah. All right. So let's move off of move from the Jets and go to the Winter Classic
like
and
rage bait
this
material.
and the absurdity and the novelty of having it in Miami
Yep.
out of all the places
Out of everywhere, you choose Florida.
where where
South Florida.
no ice has ever stayed solid.
Nope.
So what do you think about that?
So the Winter Classic was last Thursday. It was January 2nd. The Rangers had a very noticeable win. I think they ended up winning what, like 5-1 or something. Um, I like almost boycotted it just because I was so mad that it was in Florida. Why in the world would you have a Winter Classic game in Florida? It was 63 degrees. You don't play outdoor hockey in 63-degree weather. Like, how are they keeping the ice frozen? It reminds me of the Colorado Avalanche playing in Lake Tahoe and they had to stop the game because somebody kept slipping in the ice that was melting. Like, you don't play in the heat. The Winter
And that's
Classic was
Lake
supposed to be
Tahoe.
played in the winter.
At
Also,
least they
global
get
warming.
they get snow in Lake Tahoe.
Right. Like it's ridiculous. And it doesn't even stop there because they have the Stadium Series in Tampa. Like, I know you're trying to include Florida hockey, but Florida hockey's all over the place right now. The Panthers just won two in a row, and 3 years ago, the Tampa Bay Lightning won two in a row. So Florida hockey is not struggling, okay? They're fine. Why are we not keeping the Stadium Series and the Winter Classic up? Up. If Florida wants to play in a Winter Classic, that's fine. Let them go north. Let them go to New York. It's okay to not include Florida in some events, like outdoor hockey. Like, and everything was fine, I suppose. Like, nothing happened. They kept the roof closed for a little bit, but like nothing happened to make it so that it can't happen again. But like it's the principle of it. You don't put open ice hockey outdoor. And maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just my opinion. I don't know. But I certainly was not a fan of the whole outdoor ice hockey in Florida situation. So
Where was it taking place?
in Miami,
Uh,
in the Dolphin Stadium, I'm pretty sure. I
Dalton
could be
Stadium.
wrong about that though. It's usually an NFL stadium.
No, Lone Depot Park.
What's that?
Miami Marlins.
Oh.
Yeah. Um,
Oh, I guess it did kind of, yeah, it didn't look like a football field.
and the Rangers won
Rangers had a very, very noticeable win.
5-1.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Or something like, I think it was 5-1.
I
I
think it
don't
is.
quite recall.
Good.
I didn't watch it.
So why do they do the Winter Classic? Do you know?
That's one thing I don't know. I do not know the history behind the Winter Classics or the Stadium Series or the Heritage Classics, your outdoor games. Um, I do like that they have them though, and I do like the like the jerseys that they do, like hold on, let me get it. The Winter Class or the New Jersey Devils Stadium Series jersey from 2024 is
Oh
my
yeah,
favorite jersey ever. I have Jack Hughes's. I
pretty
don't.
cool.
Anyway. Um, so no, but I don't know why they have it.
Okay. Well, I don't think there's any special reason. From what I've heard, um, the NBC executive, basically, his name is John Miller. He pitched the idea in 2004, but it didn't go into effect until 2008. So
Okay.
just for if anything, just to generate more interest in hockey and
I love a good outdoor game, and I love that they have college people doing it now too. UGA played an outdoor game a couple of months ago in November. Usually they let, like last year, the outdoor stadium series was in Detroit or Columbus. Columbus, I think. And so they let the Michigan
last
Wolverines
year.
go out and play. Yeah. The
Last year
stadium
was
series was Detroit versus Columbus.
oh for college. Oh, gotcha.
No.
Oh,
For the stadium series was Detroit versus Columbus, but they let Michigan go play on the outdoor stadium as
oh,
well.
I got you. I got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my question is, if you were the commissioner, where would you put it besides Miami?
Well, shoot, anywhere up north, anywhere in
Yeah.
Canada, um, anywhere up in like Boston, New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. Um, Philadelphia, New Jersey just had one in 2024. They did the stadium series. But I love watching New Jersey outdoor games, so I'd put it back in New Jersey. Um, Pittsburgh, I think those jerseys would be really cool. Pretty much anywhere up north, like literally anywhere up north. I wouldn't put it in Dallas, Texas. I wouldn't put it in really like Dallas, Texas, and Florida are the only two places I don't think I'd put it because everywhere else gets decently cold. Maybe Nashville. I wouldn't put it
So
in Nashville.
in 2020, it was in Dallas.
Yeah, I know that.
Stadium, stadium.
But like
At the college
Dallas is
football.
more reasonable than South Florida.
Yes, it is. So out of 17, this is the 17th year of um, Winter Classic, and 17th year, 15 of the 17 have been northern states.
Yeah.
The
For
only two, Dallas and Miami, and then there was one uh, in St. Louis in 2017 at Busch Stadium, which St. Louis still gets cold, so
yeah, St. Louis I still
it's a
think is
good
decently
place.
cold.
But yeah, so
Yeah. I mean, here's my thing. I loved Dallas's jerseys in 2020, so like it's no big deal. But I think that Dallas is more reasonable than South Florida.
and interestingly, Dallas was the attendance in Dallas is the second highest in history of Winter Classic.
Yeah.
Um,
Miami's first, 63 degrees.
no, the highest attendance.
Oh, attendance. I thought you
Michigan Stadium was 2014 was the highest, 105,491 people saw
in the
that,
big house. Oh, I'm sure.
and then Dallas was 85,630. Miami was the lowest.
Gee, I wonder why.
Only 36,153 people came to see the Winter Classic in Miami.
Yeah, well, oh
Because
well.
nobody cares about hockey in Miami.
But
Nobody
that's
cares about
not
hockey.
true. That's
Yes,
not
it
true.
is.
No, it's not. They won two Stanley Cups back to back. People started to care now, which is why they put it down there because they knew, well, they thought that attendance would be high because people are all high and mighty for hockey in Miami right now. But it didn't end up working out like that. So,
Let's see. Hang on a second. Let's go over here. Check this out.
let's have a battle of Ontario outdoor game. Yes, a battle of Ontario outdoor game. Get the Leafs and the Senators out there.
Yeah, that would be great.
I would say Battle of Alberta, but I don't want the Oilers to have anything good in life. So,
So is Winter Classic only for U.S. teams?
no,
Because there has not been any, well, yeah, any Winter Classic in Canada.
really.
Yes, none.
That's an interesting statistic. I did not know that.
Yep, it's all locations that were New York, Illinois, Massachusetts, Pittsburgh, or I mean
What about
Pennsylvania,
Stadium Series and Heritage
Michigan,
Classics? Because
DC.
off the top of my head, I can't think of any Canadians that have been a part of that either.
Yeah, those poor Canadians.
Well, that's not very nice.
Um, by the way, the Florida Panthers have the fifth attendance in NHL,
I mean, I get
averaging around 19,000 fans.
okay. I mean, good for them.
All right, are we done with this one?
With the Winter Classic, yeah, I
Yeah,
just wanted to make a fit about hockey in Florida outdoors.
yeah, that's crazy.
As somebody who lives in Georgia and grew up going to Florida a lot, we were on the boat in the wintertime.
That's
Like,
true.
what in the world?
So, when you said the roof was closed.
No, they well, I mean, they posted at one point saying the roof is now open, so I'm assuming they kept the roof closed
Oh,
for a
okay.
little bit, but I don't know. I don't know. I didn't watch it. I was throwing a fit about it. And there were other people playing at that time that were more significant to me.
It's still a very fun game to watch, though. No matter where it is, it's still a very fun game to watch.
Yes, I love a good
Um,
outdoor game. I love a good
yeah.
outdoor game.
Um, all right, let's move on. Let's move on to college football playoffs.
Let's not move on to college football
And
playoffs.
Georgia's devastating loss to Ole Miss. No, I think we both saw it coming because we both said that it's going to be a tough game for Georgia.
Well, but I mean, okay, here's my 2 cents on the situation. Coming from okay, let me disclaim this. I am a student at the University of Georgia. I popped
Right.
out of the womb a Georgia fan, okay? There's no bandwagoning. There's no nothing going on. I literally go to school there. Okay. I was very careful last week not to say who I thought was going to win because if I said that I thought Georgia was going to lose, I'd speak it into existence. But if I said I thought they were going to win when deep down I knew they weren't going to, I was going to be a hypocrite, okay? So I was very careful to say it could go either way. But here, as somebody who's a statistical person, here are the statistics. It is very, very hard to beat the same team twice. And this year has proved that. We beat Alabama the second time. Alabama beat Oklahoma the second time. And so statistically, it was time for Ole Miss to come back. Statistically, we were not supposed to win that game in October. We played a very sloppy game. We let them score on every single drive that they had. Somehow, some way, which not somehow, some way, Georgia came out in the fourth quarter, which they always do, and managed to pull out a win in October. Ole Miss was mad. Statistically, they lost their coach. They have a chip on their shoulder. They're pissed off. I said when Lane Kiffin left, back before we even knew Ole Miss was going to play Georgia in the semifinal or the quarterfinals, they are probably going to go all the way because they're pissed off and they're trying to prove a point. And then we ran into them, and that's exactly what happened. Statistically, the odds were not in Georgia's favor. Now, Georgia's a very special team. If anybody was going to be able to pull that off, it was going to be them, but they played a sloppy game. Defense was terrible. Kirby Smart, I never thought I'd ever be saying this, was terrible. The calls he was making, awful. Mike Bobo reverted back to his old Mike Bobo ways. Whatever happened during Alabama, none of that was seen during the game on Saturday or Thursday. They played exactly how they played exactly how they did at the beginning of the season, but this time Ole Miss was ready for them. They got what they deserved. They did not deserve to win that game. So while I am utterly devastated because I really wanted to win in my senior year, I I don't put any of the blame on Ole Miss because they played really, really well. And I put all the blame on Georgia because and the refs, okay? People are saying online that the refs had it out for Ole Miss. Hello. Targeting
Yeah,
call, not targeting.
yeah.
The two hits on Gunnar Stockton that were completely overlooked when he was body slammed into the ground, could have fractured his spine, completely overlooked. Refs were not going for anybody in this game, arguably Ole Miss, but I won't even say that. Refs were just trash, period, end of discussion. But at the end of the day, it came out of defense. They were not able to stop Trinidad Chambliss. Trinidad Chambliss was playing really, really well on Thursday.
He was going crazy, man.
Yeah, he was really he had a point to prove, and he did. So at the end of the day, Ole Miss was the better team. They were ready for Georgia. But Georgia's not fraudulent either. They played exactly how I thought they were going to. That's classic UGA. They just usually get away with it, and they did not get away with it this time. I will say, shout out Colby Young. He came back with a half broken leg and played better than anyone offensively. Anyone. Like his catches that he made were crazy. Would not have been able to go far without him. Nate Frazier, fantastic player. When he got hurt, that was when the game ended. And he got hurt before the end of the game. Um, Devastated that the season is over because that means we're losing a lot of really good seniors. Oscar
Yeah.
Delp is leaving. Brett Thorson, which UGA is going to take a detrimental loss with Brett Thorson leaving. He's a punter. That stinks for us. It really does. It stinks to see him go. Dylan Bell had a great season. It stinks to see him go. Um, and I know they all wanted to get their own rings because they were all freshmen last time we won. So I know they wanted to get their own wins. And if they want to blame someone, they can go blame the defense. And they can go start they can go sign the Fire Mike Bobo petition that half UGA students have up. So anyway,
Well,
I
it's
won't make any
ironic.
excuses for the team.
I think it's ironic when the defense craps out like that since um, what's his name? The coach?
Kirby Smart.
Since Kirby Smart is a defensive coach. He was a star defender linebacker for Georgia back in the
I
90s.
couldn't tell you where the breakdown is with defense, but I remember telling or texting you guys when I'm at the game saying every time defense gets on the field, it makes me want to throw up, it makes me sick. And then for a little while after the Mississippi State game, they weren't playing like that. And it made me very proud. But everybody was hyping them up. All the announcers, Pat McAfee, everybody was like, this new and improved UGA defense, they could do it, they can do it. You have to look at it from like a perspective of like a UGA fan who only focuses on UGA. I saw that coming from a mile away. And I think a lot of other people did too. I saw that cocky performance that they put on because they were like, oh, this is Ole Miss. We got it. Got it. And the biggest mistake that they made, because they went into the second half with a lead, they didn't think in the locker room, Ole Miss is sitting in there right now looking at every single mistake that they made in the first, and we're going to
Yes.
replicate that, or not replicate that, reform it. They weren't thinking that. And then Ole Miss walked out and took the lead almost immediately. Like, how do you let that happen? And we got the ball to start the second, or yeah. So anyway, the fake plays were great. Everything that was very UGA coded, so good. It was a great game to watch. Very disappointing ending, but I can't even make excuses for the team because that was all on them. So,
All right, so there are four teams left, 2 games. We have
yep.
Oregon against Indiana on January 9th, and then we have Ole Miss against Miami January 8th. Out of these two games, who do you think is going to be in the championship?
Well, we'll start with the Indiana Oregon game because I think that's going to be a much smoother game for Indiana than the Ole Miss Miami game. Oregon, based off the way they played in rounds 1 and 2, going to get crushed by that Indiana defense. Indiana is composed, they are strategical, they are statistical, they are very, very good at thinking about what they're doing and if they make a mistake, fixing it. So, I don't think Oregon's going to go down as easily as Texas Tech and Alabama did, which
Wow,
we'll have
that
to
was
discuss that after this. But I do think that Indiana is going to stomp all over them. Indiana definitely is going to go to the Natty. Statistics are on their side. The last 2 winners of the Rose Bowl have won the Natty. Last 2 winners have been Big Ten. And the universe is on their side. I don't know a single person who's rooting for anybody else besides their respective schools than they are for Fernando Mendoza. So Indiana definitely going to the Natty. I hope. I hope. Genuinely hope. Anyway, Ole Miss Miami is going to be a
well.
more
Let
difficult
me tell
game.
you, if they play the way they played against
Again,
Alabama,
Alabama for sure.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
they didn't
but
even
then
look like they had had a first round bye.
no,
No time off at all.
which it's a page that Georgia Bulldogs should take.
Eh,
Um,
it happens.
okay, so
Um,
what about Miami, Ole Miss?
Ole Miss Miami.
Miami,
Here's the thing. Miami looked terrible in round 1 and fantastic in round 2. If Miami's offense plays as well as they did against Texas Tech, wait, who'd they play? No, not Texas Tech.
Ole
Um,
Miss.
no, Miami played
Oh, Ohio State.
ooh, even better. If they play as well as they did against Ohio State, I think that they'll give Ole Miss a run for their money. Now, granted, Ohio State's one of the more fraudulent teams in the college football playoffs. Strength of schedule is a huge thing here, but ultimately, I do think Ole Miss is going to win. I think they want it more, and I think that they can read what Miami's doing and work around it. Now, the first half they had against Georgia was messy, so they can't let that happen again. But I think Miami has cockiness working against them, and I think they're going to walk in all high and mighty, and I think Ole Miss is going to walk in with the same way they walked into round 1 and round 2. So we'll see. It's close game. It's anybody's game for that one. Um, we'll have to see what happens.
I think both games are going to be really good. I'm actually look more forward to the Miami Ole Miss game because I think that's going to be a closer game than Indiana, Ohio,
I'm
Oregon.
I'm not looking forward to that one, but that's simply because I hate both of those teams, and so I don't want to watch them play football.
Gotcha. All right, so we got Ole Miss and Indiana in the national championship,
I do.
and Indiana prevailing over Ole Miss.
I have
Excellent.
Fernando Mendoza winning the national championship. I would love nothing more for him and his family to win that trophy. And I would love nothing more than to see the Indiana coach smile. So,
What do you think about the 12-team playoff format? Do you think
you
it is
know,
working?
no, I don't, because there was significant teams snubbed and teams let in that should not have been let in. And I think that that's just unfair. I don't think it's more unfair than the format we had in 2023 where Georgia was left out after a perfect season because they lost the SEC championship. I like what we did last year. That was what, 10 teams last year?
No, last year was also 12 teams.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought they changed it 2 year, like they've changed it every year.
No, they haven't changed it every year.
Okay, well, I think they
Uh,
need to go to like 8 teams.
well, they're not going to. The next, I think next year or year after is going to be 16 teams.
16 teams. We're trying to go like NHL format.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they need to be better about who they let in and who they don't then. Because they need to go based off of who has the most wins. And they maybe have like a wild card spot like they do in the NHL. Because that's ridiculous. Alabama should not have been let in this time. If you're 10-3, you don't get let in if you have a 12-team format, especially if there are other teams that are 10-2 or 11-2.
Yeah, we moved from 14 playoff to 12 teams.
Last year
And
was
then
14. Oh, 4 teams. I was like
four
14.
teams,
Yeah.
four teams playoff to 12 teams. And then I believe in 2027, we're going to go to 16 teams.
Oh, I don't like that idea.
Um, yeah. So yeah, because because people will be crying about how some teams were left out. So they think that the
Anyway,
16 teams is going to be the best format that's going to allow every team that deserves to be there to be in the mix. But yeah, I don't know when they're going to move to the 16 team, but there's definitely talk about it. All right. Well, that concludes our podcast. But before we go, I want to talk to you. I want to ask you 4 rapid fire questions.
okay.
See what you think. Are you ready? Number 1, who's your dark horse Stanley Cup contender right now? And you can't say Colorado.
Well, Colorado is not a dark horse contender. Thank you very much. Honestly, gonna have to go Minnesota
Oh, the Wild. Okay.
because based on their statistics this season, they're not a dark horse, but based off of their playoff performance in recent years, they are definitely not your most expected winner. So
Excellent. That's a great answer. Also because now they have
Quinn Hughes.
Quinn Hughes. Thank you. Second question is, if you're building a team from scratch and can only pick one, Connor McDavid, Austin Matthews, or Nathan MacKinnon?
Nathan MacKinnon,
Okay. All right.
100%.
All right. What is the reason?
Yeah. First of all, it's
Besides,
not Connor McDavid.
besides the fact that you hate Connor McDavid.
Second of all, first of all, okay, hot take. I think Austin Matthews is incredibly overrated. So sorry. I do not think he deserves to be the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Love the guy. I think he's a great player, but not a leader. Second, don't like Connor McDavid. Not letting him on my team. So sorry. Anyway, third, Nathan MacKinnon is far more consistent than Connor McDavid. He's a big dude, not afraid to get rough and feisty, and he's always scoring. From every single angle, you can always count on Nathan MacKinnon, not only to score once, but have a multiple point game. I would 100%, no question about it, take Nathan MacKinnon over either of those other 2 players.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. All right. And last but not least, I'm sorry. No, number 3. What's one NHL rule you'd change or add if you were a commissioner for a day?
I like we've done this one a lot, so I won't say goaltender fighting because I say that all the time. Um,
We did that last time, didn't we?
I say goalies fighting.
Goals fighting. Okay.
Mhm.
I would say take the offsides away.
You said that last time because of Dylan
It
Strom's
is.
goal. Ridiculous.
All right. All right. Last but not least, last question. Who will win the Calder Trophy this season?
Well, I don't want to jinx anyone,
Just
but
say
I'm
it.
hoping for Matthew Schaefer to win.
Oh, okay. That's a great answer. That's
If Ryan Leonard hadn't gotten hurt,
listen. The way Matthew Schaefer is playing right now, he's definitely a contender.
Oh, yes. If Ryan Leonard hadn't gotten hurt, I think he'd end up being closer in the race. But he only missed a couple of games, which is good. Um, but at the end of the day, I am hoping for Matthew Schaefer to get that.
Yeah, so am I. I like the guy. So, you have anything else to add to our podcast?
Only that now that Georgia has lost, and I don't have to be kind to anybody. Alabama, that was the most disgusting performance I've ever seen in my entire life, and you should be ashamed of yourselves. And I'm laughing at you. Ha ha ha. That was so bad. Why in the world would you just sit there and they just sat there and took it?
Yeah.
So did Texas Tech. What was that? Like, that was less of a surprise, but they didn't score at all. Through 60 minutes of football, did not score at all. Are we serious?
Yeah, that was crazy. They got shut out. They didn't even score 1 point.
Not a single point.
Not a single point.
Not even a field goal.
Not a field goal. Not even a safety. Nothing. That was really embarrassing. They didn't even show up. And they were a higher seed.
Yeah. They were first round bye.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
Kudos to the Ole Miss kicker. First of all, he got the game-winning kick. But second of all, those first two kicks that were from like 55, 56 yards.
Yes. He broke Ole Miss record for sure.
That was really good. And I hate you for that, but good job.
So here's an interesting. So out of the 4 teams, of the 4 games last Saturday or last weekend,
only one first round bye won.
Only one first round bye won. That's
was another reason why the statistics were not in UGA's favor.
And they're the number 1 team, so
Well, yes.
All right, Kenzie, that's episode 14. Olympic rosters, fielding debate, young star learning what attention really means. The Jets flirting with the President's Trophy curse, outdoor hockey in Miami for reasons we'll never fully understand, and college football playoffs doing what they always do, disappoint us. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hit follow, share it with your sports group chat or with whoever you think is gonna like this episode. I'll catch you next week, Kenzie. And because sports is fun, but it's also controversial and it's also very weird at times. I love you so much.
Okay.
Have a great night.
I'll try.
Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. How do I turn this thing on?